Okay, guys, the stage is set for the upcoming game between Bath and Bristol Bears. They are due to clash in the URC semi-finals, and I want to break down this game from key players, where I feel this game is going to be won and lost statistics, and at the end of the video, give you guys my predictions. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And let's break it down. So first up, Bath have been on such a run this season, absolutely killing the Premiership and just dominating it, finishing first by quite some way. But they are going to be coming into this game with a loss on their record just prior, losing to the Saracens, which is going to be a bitter pill to swallow, 36-26. And this is going to be a difficult one for them. Bristol Bears are coming into this game with a win, a very, very strong win up against Harlequins, where they ended up winning 52-26 on the night. And what a brilliant game that was. Now, both teams are going to be giving it everything. This is where it all culminates. Bristol managed to secure their playoffs spot properly with prior games and being in relatively good form. But now we need to see if they can continue this in knockout rugby. And this is where it's really going to get difficult. So honestly, this game could potentially go either way. We do have two completely different styles in terms of both teams. And we look at the previous results between these two. Bristol quite evidently have an upper hand in terms of recent victories. Out of the last 5, Bath only beat them once. So Bristol are quite ahead on the head-to-head statistics, and they are coming in with a boost. So Bath are definitely going to have that on their minds. It's going to be a very mental game for them. But when you look at the players that they do have, you have players like Finn Russell, who he's just this creative genius who he was brought in to do a job to potentially try and win Bath titles. This is exactly what he's doing. He's that beautiful bond between attack, defense, and he's just one of those key players. He's got that X factor. But unfortunately with him, it does often tend to seem that he is his own worst enemy. And if things aren't going well, it's very hard for him to get out of that rut. You have a player like Thomas du Toit, who is just, he is him. he's a beast. No, oftentimes when he's on the pitch, he is the best player on the pitch, whether it's scrummaging, whether it's hitting hard, whether it's being in the right place at the right time, whether it's ball carrying, tackling. The guy is just immense. He's just that anchor. And honestly, he's just dominant. So having a player like him is always lovely to have. And then they have Ted Hill, who another key player. He's got that, he's that dynamic player. He just brings that presence. His defensive prowess, that engine that he does have is just amazing. So he's definitely going to be one that the Harlequins are going to need to watch out for. Bristol are going to have to watch out for. But in terms of Bristol, they got players like Ibitoye, who is just rapid. He is scary when he's on that ball. And his ability to twist you, he will happily break your ankles with no second thought. So he is going to be a very difficult player to keep up with and to contain. But they have AJ McGinty, who, again, his presence, his ability to play out the ball, his goal kicking accuracy, his ability on the dead ball, his eye for detail, his eye for those spaces is key. So he is going to be again a very difficult player to contain. Honestly, if Bath are able to contain him, it's going to go a very long way to having a good game, because once he gets on the ball, he becomes destructive, right? You give him a little bit too much time, he's going to find space. And if you don't crowd him out, he is going to find other teammates and bring them into the game. So he is going to be a very difficult one to contain. And then obviously you got Ellis Genge. What more needs to be said about Genge? The guy, he's just an absolute tank. He is, there's a reason why he's top level tier England player, top level tier British and Irish Lions player, top tier Bears player. The guy, he is just so strong. He's just that brute physical player that you can rely on. You can depend on him. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of performance he brings out, because once he gets on a roll, he is very difficult to stop. Those scrums are definitely going to be very, very difficult to contain and to be able to handle. He's just very much that player that he will just happily run straight through you. So he's going to be a very, very difficult player to contain. Now we look at both teams in terms of their approach to the game, right? And Bath, they are a very difficult team to play because of their physicality. Johan van Graan, he's changed the way Bath Rugby see things, right? He's changed the way they play. He's given them that pragmatic approach, emphasizing that forward dominance, those big hits, that structured play. And obviously it's done them a world of good, right? Obviously this game, it really revolves around that powerful pack, strategic kicking to apply pressure, which is something Finn Russell does very, very well. And, they really tend to try to capitalize on any errors, mistakes, and, to put a lot of pressure on the opposing team. So they are very, very difficult to play. But is Bristol Rugby's way of playing a potential counter to them, right? Because Pat Lam, he favors a lot more of an explosive, high tempo game. They want to get the ball moving as quickly as possible. They want to find those gaps that have been left. And if Bristol are able to wear out Bath, that will allow them those little spaces, those little openings, which AJ McGinty is going to make full use of, right? They want to outpace them. They want to outmaneuver them. And then you have a player like Ibitoye, who he would happily find that space and run and use those inside channels to absolutely cause destruction, right? So it's going to be interesting to see if Bristol are able to outplay Bath and to be able to outmaneuver them. If they're able to keep that pace throughout the entire game and tire down Bath, I think they can definitely have a very, very good chance of winning. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to work out, because obviously you have Bath's structured power play, and then you have Pat Lam's dynamic pace, quick ball. So this game is going to come down to the day. Whoever puts their best foot forward. Personally, I am giving Bath a slight edge because of the performances that they've had throughout the entire season. I am taking consideration the loss to the Saracens, but you can never count out Bristol. So I'm giving them an ever so slight chance. In the back of my mind, I have Bath to come in and just absolutely cause havoc. But, my gut is saying Bath Rugby to win. I don't feel this is going to be a big, big win. I feel this is going to be a very high scoring game, but I feel Bath is going to win by one. I don't even think they're going to win by a try. I think they're going to win by a penalty, right? Late end of the game, penalty, finish it off after a heavy, intense game. So let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on the game? What are your predictions? And who do you think is going to be key in terms of breaking down the opposing team? So I want to hear the thoughts of the Bristol fans. I want to hear the thoughts of the Bath fans. Who's going to come out on top? Let's see. See ya.